于德博士是这个戏的导演，同时也是这个学校的教授和老师啊。这是学生的。
你好。I want to thank the directors of the theater festival.
我非常想对这个戏剧节的组织者表示诚挚的感谢。
And the theater educators who have come to share with us.
还有这些我们专家评委这些贵宾们。
And many thanks to the staff of the theater, especially the technicians who spent many hours with us over the past couple of days to help us.
我还想对这个剧场的所有的这些技术人员、工作人员表示感谢，因为他们在这里给我们提供了非常好的这种支持和帮助。他们在这儿工作了10几个小时，加班加点，非常辛苦。
Thank you also to the people of Shenzhen for being such gracious hosts.
我们还想非常感谢深圳的人民，你们是非常好的主人。
We are happy to be here to participate in the festival and share our belief in the power of theater art to bring people together.
我们非常高兴来参加这个戏剧节，因为我们觉得戏剧能够使人们团结在一起。
I am happy to see so many young people in the audience.
我非常开心看到今天的这个观众里头有很多是年轻人。
This play, Sophie, is about a young person with dreams and hopes for the future.
我们今天要演的这台戏 ，Sophie 是一个女孩。这个女孩她是对未来有着美好的想象和憧憬。
But her life was tragically ended in an accident.
但是很不幸的是，她很年轻就因为一个车祸去世了。
And this play speaks about the idea that there is no ending, only beginnings.
这台戏想告诉大家的是，实际上，这个世界上没有终止，只有新的开始。
A famous American poet, T.S. Eliot, wrote these words.
有一个非常那个著名的美国诗人写了如下几句话。
What we call the beginning is often the end.
我们说是开始，往往是结束。
And to make an end is to make a beginning.
我们说的结束，往往又是一个新的开始。
The end is where we start.
结束就是我们开始的时候。
谢谢。
谢谢。
And I would wish for the weather to behave itself. I wish it would rain just enough for agricultural uses, and only at night. I wish that the land would become fertile in non-fertile countries. And now for the exciting ones. I wish I could talk to animals, or breathe underwater. I wish I could ride really well, or become small whenever required. I wish I could fly. Are you counting? I hope not. I wish for my dad to be sent £1 million, but don't tell him I said so. I've got one more wish. An incredibly important one. I'll give you 3 seconds to guess what it is. 1, 2...
Was that the train to Middleton?
Sorry?
The train that just passed. Was it going to Middleton?
Oh, I wasn't looking, sorry. I suppose it's possible.
Are you?
I'm going to Felbridge. Sorry, I interrupted.
Actually, I was going to...
Actually, I'm not the right person to ask. You see, this isn't my station. I got off thinking this was Felbridge.
Felbridge? I should think not.
My mistake.
This doesn't look the slightest bit like Felbridge.
Then I suppose you know exactly where you are?
Yes, I was just... You'd think there'd be a sign somewhere.
You'd think so.
And the ticket office.
There's no one there. If I'm not mistaken, it closed just as I arrived.
And when was that?
2 hours ago?
My God.
I don't mind. By my calculations, the next train towards Felbridge should be here any moment. Of course, yes, it would help if I knew where we were. I can manage perfectly fine on my own, thank you.
Sorry.
That bloke over there. I'm fine, really. Don't be such a pest. That bloke over. No, Chris.
I'm afraid I don't...
I know he looks a bit scary, but he's not entirely bad. If you must know, sometimes he keeps me company when there's no one else to talk to.
Oh, I see. Hello. He's not the least bit scary. In fact, he's rather dashing, don't you think?
I think he's after my crisps. Don't look. Maybe he'll go away.
Would you mind terribly if I sit?
Please. Crisps?
Thank you. No, actually,
Smoky bacon.
I think I'll just ring my mum.
Right. There's a call box down the platform.
Would you like to come with me?
I'll be fine.
You're positive.
Absolutely.
I'll keep a close watch.
Thank you. Last call for crisps?
Well then. Thanks.
There's no need to rush, you know, really. When it's time to go, we'll go. That's part of growing up, isn't it? Knowing you can't control every little thing. Did you know you were in my dreams last night? I tossed and I turned. I think I dozed. Then I woke to find my room flooded with silver light. I got out of bed, and at my window I saw a shape appear over the horizon of the moon. A horse. Yes, a horse with silver wings. I promise it, I'm not fibbing. It was a horse. It came over to my room, and we climbed on its back and soared through the air, and every now and then it glanced back at the moon. His home. I thought it was a dream, but my legs are covered in moon dust. Does she believe me? No.
Will she believe what?
Last night, I flew to the moon on a silver horse.
Oh, that explains it.
What?
The moon dust on your shoes. I was wondering how that got there. I have an incredible favor to ask. It's just a tiny bit embarrassing.
Are you all right? You look a bit peaked.
I'm fine, really. I don't know what I did with my bag.
You didn't have it when you arrived.
That's right. And I'm not sure where it is. And I don't seem to have any money. Absolutely nothing.
The phone?
Yes.
I've 10p in my belt.
Fantastic.
It's in my satchel. Hang on.
If it's not too much of a bother.
I know it's in here somewhere.
Is it Edmonds College then?
Is it that obvious?
You said Felbridge, And then there's the uniform.
Right.
And those hideous brown knickers.
Aren't they awful? Honestly, I cannot find one nice thing to say about them, except perhaps they're bulletproof. At least that's the rumor.
Lucy Spencer burned hers the minute she left.
I take it you went to Edmonds.
I did. I left last year. Not a very encouraging sign, is it?
Sorry?
A fellow old girl, a recent leaver, and here I am borrowing 10p at a railway station.
Go on.
I don't want to clear you out.
Don't worry, I've got more.
Thanks.
My pleasure. By the way, my name's Sophie.
Oh my God, we're walking cliches.
Are you Sophie?
I am, though officially it's Sophia.
Me too!
Brilliant! Thanks so much. Scream if you need me.
Honestly, I'm not altogether sure she is ready. Do you? I mean, I should tell her none of the phones work, but she will still give it a go. That's one of the problems of being my age. Nobody believes you, except other children, but they don't interest me much. I mean, I do enjoy small children and adults of all ages. Sometimes I wish I could just skip childhood altogether and go straight to being an adult. Not that I'm in much of a hurry, believe me. I got into a real mess today because I looked at some old photos of Mummy and Daddy. They really affected me. I think it's the idea of time running away and seeing children, carefree children on paper before you, and the old adults next to them. I could hardly get over it. I burst into tears, and Tilly, dearest Tilly, licked my face and seemed to understand. And I just sat there for ages crying. It's the idea of so many days gone that were wasted, or that I don't remember, each second moving and never there again, and that someday Mum and Dad will die, or someday I will die, and it's years away, but quick as a flash and those years will be gone, and all that's left of them is a pile of old photos. I know there's more to it than that, but still...
I thought that might be Oz. Who are you?
I think it's all right if you'd like to say hello. This is my friend, Sophie.
Hello.
The truth is, he's actually quite shy.
Hello. My name's Sophie.
Did you reach your mum?
No, and the connection was a bit odd. I wasn't able to reach anyone, including the operator.
I can't say I'm surprised.
Were you able to reach anyone? Your mum?
No, I'm afraid they've all gone. There's been an accident.
Was it just around... Was it that blue car and the lorry?
Yes, it was just
Oh
over
my
there.
God, I think I saw that. Is everyone all right?
Actually, no, but they will be.
Nothing too serious, I hope.
They'll be fine.
Good. That's reassuring. I just don't recognize anything.
Sorry?
If it's close to the school, you'd think we'd recognize something, don't you?
I usually get a lift from my parents. It was just today with the accident.
Right.
I don't want to admit it, but I fell asleep. Obviously, I passed my station. And thank you so much for the warning. He's not shy. He's ashamed.
So the next train that stops should go back towards Felbridge.
Exactly.
Right. Here's your 10p.
Please keep it.
Nonsense. This belongs in your bag. Is that a badger?
No, it's a hat.
I still have my badger. Of course, he's not quite as
Oh my
fuzzy
God,
as-
don't look.
Shall I pick it up then?
Did you see it?
If you mean, did I see the big pink letters on the cover that read Snog List, then I'm afraid I must say yes.
Oh my God, no one's ever seen that. I would rather let tar off the road than have anyone read so much as one page of this book.
My goodness, how many boys have you snogged?
Oh, you know, the usual number.
It's nothing to be ashamed of.
Of course not.
I'm sure no one would read it without your permission. I know I wouldn't.
Can I ask you a personal question? I'm quite serious.
Yes, of course.
How many boys have you sold by the time you were, say, 13 and a half?
13. Let me think.
Because I met a really nice boy last week. I mean, really nice. He was pleasant looking and had these beautiful puppy dog eyes. He was nice to me, and we had this heart-to-heart and touched on subjects I find really interesting, like infinity, stuff like that. He plays the guitar, and I sang along to his playing, and it felt so
Right.
Yes. I mean, we seemed to hit it off pretty well.
And you don't want to rush it?
I don't! That's the thing! I have to be careful. You see, I've only known him for about 74 hours, which is long enough to know he's one of the nicest people I've ever met. It's also long enough to know he's not on the pull. He's too genuine and faithful to snog anyone while he fancies this one girl from home.
Annoying, isn't it?
Sorry?
The girl from home.
It isn't really. Not when you remember that boyfriend-girlfriend relationships don't last long. It's not mature to be able to like someone and be good friends. Say, if as soon as you start liking a boy, you snog him. You get to know each other too well physically, but not well enough mentally, and more often than not, the whole thing falls through. That's why I decided on a definite course of action with this boy. Would you like to hear my plan?
If I said no, would you hate me forever?
Yes! I'd like to meet him socially a few times. Forget romance, don't tell anybody I like him, and then see how things progress naturally. Because, you see, he's so nice to everyone, not just me, and he treated me the same as everybody else. Perhaps with a teeny bit more reserve because he doesn't know me as well as most of the others. So, it goes to show he doesn't fancy me, and for that I am glad. So if anything happens, it will be based off of friendships and mutual interests. But I value him, his friendship, so much right now. So, I must at all costs, I must keep it to myself.
What?
Keep it to myself. The fact that I fancy this boy.
Keep what to yourself?
The secret that I... Oh, ha, ha, ha.
That
ha.
wasn't very polite of me, sorry.
To be perfectly honest, this book is empty. I haven't snogged anyone. There's no rush. I just don't know what's worse, to be my age and have a snog that's positively bulging with juicy entries, or to have nothing at all. All the pages perfectly blank.
I have a good joke if you'd like to hear it.
Thank you.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting.
Ow!
I've got one, but it's not as funny as that.
Well then, by all means.
No, seriously, it's not particularly good.
Come on, how bad could it be?
It's dreadful. Even my brothers hate it.
Now I really must hear it.
It's a better joke than I can tell. I'm still working on the timing.
Is the actual joke as long as your explanation as to why it's not a good joke?
No?
Then let's hear it.
Right. Okay. Why did the squirrel fall out of the tree? I don't know.
I don't know. Why did the squirrel fall out of the tree?
Because he was dead. Why did the second squirrel fall out of the tree?
I don't know. Why did the second squirrel fall out of the tree?
Because he was stapled to a chicken. I mean, stapled to the other squirrel. Why did the third chicken fall?
Squirrel?
Squirrel, already. Why did the tree fall over?
I don't know. Why did the tree fall over?
Because he thought he was another squirrel. The end. Why aren't you laughing?
I'm smiling.
It wasn't very good, was it?
I wasn't sure about that bit with the chicken.
That was a mistake. There are no chickens in that joke. Not when you tell it properly. You're just being nice.
No, that's funny, really. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to try ringing my mum again.
You'll need the 10p.
That's so kind, but...
It's all right. There's plenty more here.
I'll try reversing the charges. They'll understand.
Are you sure they will?
Wish me luck.
Luck.
That's the one! Come on, we'll stop it ourselves if we have to. Will you help me flag it down? Sophie! Hello! We're here! We're cold! We're waiting! We're all set to go! I'm all set to go! We're here! We're here! Damn! We're still waiting! Sorry.
It can be frustrating.
And if it does stop, I haven't got any money. My God.
That won't be a problem.
You're sure? That's very kind.
I'm happy to help. Really?
I had a satchel and at least 5 quid. No, it was... Honestly, I can't remember.
That's all right.
I was in the car. I was driving.
Of course you were.
My satchel was right beside me and I didn't stop. But I must have.
Sophie.
I got myself all confused.
Well, you're here now.
Right. Thanks. Am I keeping you from your studies?
Oh, that's not a school book. It's
It's
silly.
a book about flower fairies.
Well, you know, I'm much too old for that sort of thing.
Nonsense.
I am, but they're read all over England, and they're very popular with all the little girls. So I thought I'd give it a read, and then try to write some fairy poems to sell.
So you don't believe in them yourself then?
Believe in what?
Flower fairies?
Of course not.
Because you know, I do.
That's because you're a drama queen.
How old are you?
Too old for flower fairy poems.
Right. Then I suppose it would be a waste of time to ask you to make one up with me. Beneath the bracken, by the stream, lives a pixie decked in green. A word! Ding, ding, ding! We have a winner! Of course, I recognize you're far too mature to offer any further
Rings
collaboration.
are clear can be.
I thought pixies were usually male.
Not this one.
Sorry. Her wings are
Clear can be.
and none can see him. Her, only me. Beside the oak tree, in the roots, lives an elf with mouse skin boots. He plays the pipe,
Just like a bird,
by me alone,
his song is heard.
'neath the
Rose bush,
blooming wild, is a lovely
fairy child, the fragrance of the bush is she.
but no one knows this.
Only me.
Within the waters of the brook lives a
Water nymph in a nook. A bit awkward that.
'tis she that makes the waters shine
but this knowledge is only mine.
And so, my children, hear my tale.
The gift of magic will
Prevail. Within your minds, you alone can see
the elf who lives beneath the tree.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Of course, you'll give me half credit and a generous royalty.
Of course.
And there's one other thing you'll have to explain to me.
Yes?
Why is it? You see, I've never seen flower fairy books with full-color fashion shots of all my favorite celebs.
No, that's not what it is. Give back.
Sophie, there's something marked here.
No.
I wonder.
No.
The advice page.
Were you able to reach your mom?
No. All the phones have gone dead. Honestly, I couldn't get so much as a dialing tone from any of them.
Imagine that.
Yes.
I want some crisps. Would you like some?
I really am trying to cut down on my in-betweens.
Cheesy onion.
Oh, if I must.
I'm going to start on a diet next week. I'm going to see how much I weigh, and by the end of the term, I'm going to weigh less.
As long as it's reasonable.
Absolutely. I have exams, so I cannot be expected to diet seriously, but I can be expected to cut down in easy ways. I'm just so tired of being fed up with my figure, so more exercise. Cut down on my in-betweens. I'll make a schedule and stick to it.
Absolutely.
Do you think my hyper-organization is going to last much past tomorrow? Because the funny thing is, well, it's not funny, but the truth of the matter is it's not a problem at home, it's school. It is.
May I?
At home, I feel happier, and I can't work out why. Maybe because you're much more alone at school. You can't turn to anyone because they'll think you're attention-seeking or pathetic. So you bottle it up or avoid people. I'm never truly happy there. I'm always niggling at myself, not other people, myself. And I'm happy with my inside. It's my outside. My squished up bumpy face and limp hair, a big bum and stomach, and my flat feet. I look in my mirror and I see a giant pair of big feet and hands. I hate my hands.
I hate my hands. I always have. But yours?
You have beautiful hands.
Oh, yes. Particularly with the bits of crisp stuck under the nails. Lovely.
I'd give anything to have your hands.
But you see, you do have my hands. The only difference is I burn into mine. Almost. And believe me, that's taken a while. You have beautiful hands. I think you look splendid. Right then, we'll both resolve to take good care of our bodies. Reasonable diet, plenty of exercise.
Are you revving up for a big speech on the dangers of eating more than you should and then tossing it all in the loo?
Yes.
Did you ever do that?
No.
Then neither will I. That's settled.
Right.
Sometimes I hear Alice at night doing, you know, that, and I feel so bad about it, but I cannot bring myself to talk to her about it. It's so sad. She has everything going for her, but she puts herself through hell. 40 lengths of the pool every day, and hardly any food, and when she does eat, oh my God, wolfing down her food at top speed, and so many of the other girls do that. For the life of me, I don't understand.
They're terrified.
Sorry?
Last one and all that. And it's true, it's something to avoid. Not that you should eat that way, but you can understand.
But that's just it. I don't understand.
No one wants to be the last one at the table, sitting alone.
That happens to me all the time.
That silly thing to say. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being the last one sitting.
Other than it marks you as odd or quirky
No.
or standoffish
No.
or pathetic.
Absolutely not. That does not make you pathetic.
Catherine says that if you're going to talk to one of those kinds of people, you'll never be PLU. People like us.
I knew that.
That's her term. Horrid, isn't it? I would never use it.
I should hope not.
But she's really sweet.
Catherine.
Until you get to know her, then it's all sort of hockey sticks and rah-rah lifestyle that the trendies adore. Plus, she's gorgeous.
Right, and all of this would make her an expert on personal relations.
No, all of this would make her a cow. But the truth is, she goes to town. She has a boyfriend. None of that really matters, but it is a fact. And
My
she gets
mind
along
screams
so
out
well.
the truth. Well, my mouth smiles, my head shakes, my lips are still.
Sorry?
Nothing. Sorry, it's senility. My arty-farty mind is beginning to slip.
Perhaps if I'd stop blathering.
Those people who walk alone, who eat alone, those odd, quirky, interesting ones.
Some of them.
Don't be scared to be friends with those people.
I'm not, usually.
Don't be scared to be one of those people.
I try. Really, I am.
Well then, I admire your courage.
I'm sorry. I don't have a limitless supply of crisps. You'll just have to wait. Oh, I am sorry. He's worried that you're still cold.
He is?
Yes, and he wonders if he may offer you his coat. Though, it's not really what I would call a coat. It's more of a cloak, wouldn't you say?
Thanks ever so much, but...
Of course, he's been carrying it around since 700 BC. It's a bit tattered.
It still looks splendid, and thanks ever so much for the offer, but I'm fine, really. But thank you.
Do you really see him? Or are you just saying that for my benefit?
If I lie, will you take away my crisp eating privileges?
Yes?
You're not making this easy.
Just the truth, please. I'm quite serious.
I don't actually see him, not his physical presence, but I'm with him in spirit. You know, you're not the only one with an ancient poet for a confidant. I've been writing journal entries to mine for years.
Journal entries? Does he write back?
Not that I know of, but he listens to all my poems. Always has. He has yet to complain.
Mine gives me ideas for poems and stories in my dreams. And he's a musician.
Mine's a musician, and he was banished to sea and later saved by a dolphin. And he never begs for crisps.
You have me there.
Then again, I've never actually seen my confidant. Obviously, you have a better rapport.
Probably because you don't offer him treats.
I'll have to try that sometime.
Salt and vinegar. That's his favorite.
All these years I've been writing to him and reciting. I never thought to offer him crisps.
And you're quite sure you don't see him? My confidant?
No.
Because I'd be happy to lend him to you. Is that all right? You could recite for him. I'm sure he'd like that.
Sorry?
He says yes. It was quiet but sincere.
Tell him.
I'll warn you, he is a bit touchy.
I do appreciate the offer, but no. Thank you.
You've hurt his feelings.
My God, can't you just toss him a crisp or a biggie
He's
or...
waiting for you to recite
I
something.
don't want to read! Sorry? How rude was that?
dream of sharing that information with any of my school friends, or anyone else really.
I'm honored.
They just think I'm a total loser.
No.
They would. Some of them already do.
Ah, you mean some of those soulless, empty zombies? The ones who get excited about TV and shopping in Belbridge.
And the redhead and co.
Redhead? I hadn't a redhead in my class.
Was she a soulless, empty zombie?
I'm afraid so. But the thing is,
Yes.
they're not all mindless sheep, are they? It's really not as dismal as all that.
No, of course not. Sometimes it is pretty dismal.
I was always homesick for a while, but don't you find it goes away?
I've got to get into school mode, then I'm fine.
Exactly. And it might take some time, it did for me, to find your niche. And don't say you won't, because you will. You'll establish yourself properly.
If you say so.
Of course you'll have your little grumbles, don't we all? But I rather enjoy mine, strangely. Particularly when they're balanced with good things. And when really good things start to happen. And now I was so pleased because the year before, and the year before that, I went through a time of serious self-doubt when I thought perhaps I wasn't much good at anything. And then finally I proved to people that I'm good at drama, which was so important because up until then, people had thought of me as not much good at anything and mostly harmless. And then, one day, I remember the moment. I was sitting on my bed in my box. I'm sorry. I really am blathering.
Please, I do need to hear this.
Right.
You were sitting on your bed.
It's dark outside, so I've drawn the curtain. Eric Clapton is playing quietly on my CD player, and my room has that Saturday afternoon, faintly untidy look that accompanies me after I've been to town. And you know what? It dawns on me. I'm utterly happy. I am. With myself, my life, my darling parents, my brothers. I'm almost happy with my work, my friends, my box, my teachers. I'm doing pretty well here.
And you wish you were back?
Oh, God, no. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. I did love it there by the end. But believe me, by the final term, I was looking forward to getting away, to getting on with my life, such as it is. Actually, things are going fine just now. They really are. Other than the fact that my bank account is completely empty, and I don't have the slightest clue where I am. Other than that, everything is brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. I don't suppose you'd like to be a financial partner in a new play. We're taking it to Edinburgh.
Unfortunately, I'm not in a position
I'm
to...
joking, of course, about the finances, but I'm quite serious about you helping out with the production. You could help with costumes, props.
I thank you.
Then you'll consider it?
I can't. I'm previously engaged.
Oh, gracious, well, if you're previously engaged...
I'm afraid I am.
Of course you can help with costumes, props.
I wish I
have
could.
a fantastic time in Edinburgh, making an impact on the
Sounds
world.
lovely.
Oh, moi. You understand this is Edinburgh, my mecca. Exactly.
I love to, really, but I do have a prior commitment.
Right. Well then, if you do decide to have a go at it, call me, will you? Or drop me a line. Have you got email? Here, I've got a leaflet with all the numbers. I'm doing a bit of fundraising.
Any luck with that?
No. Well, a few pounds here and there, but we're just getting started. I can't seem to find my...
You could just tell me your address.
Odd. Right. 17 Sundial Court,
Stoutley, Middleton.
Would it be better to write that down?
I won't forget.
MX24SJ. I'm someday. And this is something I've wished for quite some time.
I know what it is.
I don't see how you could.
I don't see how anyone could spend 10 minutes with you and not know.
It took me longer than that to give you the leaflet. Not that I... What did I?
That's not what I meant. It's a compliment, really.
Thank you. Then I suppose that's good, isn't it? I suppose that means I'm living it.
The dream?
Well, not the cold and penniless part, but everything else mostly. Directing, doing that one thing that's so special.
It's quite lucky that.
Oh yes, how many people get to freeze their buns off doing something they really love? Ever? It's true though, isn't it? I mean, really, what more could a girl wish for?
Perhaps a date with a dreamy,
Well,
gorgeous.
there's always that.
So, does it get better then? Do you fancy any boys?
I suppose there's one.
I'm sorry, you don't have to tell me.
I don't know if I fancy him particularly. I just find him really fascinating. He's an actor, so that's a bond. I think that's better than fancying someone, don't you? The problem, though, we're totally inappropriate for each other, and we always end up having this one-upmanship argument thingy, which he wins, and that makes me cross. I'm always so rude to him. I wish I wasn't.
That doesn't sound particularly romantic.
Exactly. Any sort of relationship would be a farce. If I snogged him, he'd go on an ego trip, and I'd get too emotionally involved. He'd humiliate me, or I him, and then I'd be miserable.
It's sounding less and less romantic.
But then there's Robert, and I suppose you could say, technically I seem to be seeing him, though it's a bit of a distance.
Is he from Feldridge?
Oh no, darling. Oxford.
Oxford?
Yes, and he's so...
Oxford?
Yes, with big blue eyes and one less A than me at A-level.
Hurrah!
I know, perfect, isn't it?
That's more than perfect. It's darling.
It's perfect.
Right.
And then there's Richard, who's terrific fun, a real giggle, but definitely not worth losing Robert for. Even though I think we may not be wholly compatible, actually.
With Richard?
Robert.
Right.
Oh, do stop looking at me that way.
Let's see. That's 1, 2,
Ah,
3.
darling, stop, I'm blushing.
Of course you are.
And believe me, none of this is half as exciting as your first snog and all that sort of growing up thing. You're going to have a brilliant time of it.
Lollipop, lollipop, oh, lolly, 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 lollipop, lollipop, oh, lolly, 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 lollipop, lollipop, oh, lolly, 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 lollipop. Da-dum, dum, dum, dum.
Where are you? I fell into when I didn't get into a certain university. And you needn't worry, I'm completely over it. Really? Carpe diem and all that. Right. I'm not bitter. Uh-huh. I feel fine about it all.
Absolutely. I can tell by your face.
Tell by my...
That's the face of someone who's
perfectly at peace.
right. You didn't get into Oxford?
No. And that's it. No more chances. It's a failure I have to live with.
It's not a failure.
It makes me wish I were going somewhere foreign, far away from the sight of my shame.
It must be very frustrating.
Yes. It was the interview. They saw a mediocre loser when I am so fabulous. I still can't believe some of the shit I told them and all of the opportunities I had to shine and didn't. If I knew I had given it my best and hadn't got in, I wouldn't mind so much. But I didn't. I gave it a pathetic, flustered, confused and half-hearted shot, and I'll never know if I would have got in if I had given it my best. That's the worst feeling. Now when people ask if I'm going to Oxford, my family will have to say, no, but she's going to Bristol. And then people will say, ah, and think to themselves, Oxford wannabe, less than Oxford.
And when you stop to consider all the Oxbridge people, imagine to always be excluded,
Sorry,
to be defined by this forever, for eternity.
I'm not quite sure I follow
Let's
you.
say God is a poet, and if there is a God, you must think he is something of a poet. Then let's say someone like Shakespeare dies and floats up to the pearly gates, but wham! No degree from Oxford. Didn't get in, didn't even apply, wouldn't have got in had he applied. You think they'll let him into heaven without that degree, without attending so much as a single day? Go away, sir, and take your buddy George Bernard what's-his-name with you. I'm sorry, Mr. Keats. You, William Butler Yeats, skid along. Oxford does not approve, nor can I. Application rejected.
I somehow doubt Shaw or Keats are residing in heaven, much less William Butler Yeats.
My point exactly, and it's just not fair.
How old are you?
Mrs. Huddleston says it's not too early to start on the Oxbridge track, and that I should plan on taking sensible A-level subjects to get in. And that means English and religion are fine, but definitely not theatre studies. And I said, or actually I didn't say anything, I just nodded my head and smiled, but I told her, I thought, who gives a monkeys? I don't care if I go to Oxford or Timbuktu. I want to study drama.
Exactly. That's exactly.
I'm lost without it. Even if I have no money, even if I have to live in a tent, I'd be untrue to Sophie if I denied myself the chance to create drama.
That's essentially, not word for word, but that's what I said in the interview. I said I cannot not do it, if you know what I mean.
Perhaps they're frightened by the double negative. I think it sounds lyrical.
Right then. We both resolved to do what we love, despite the drawbacks.
Absolutely.
Not that either one of us has any experience in the real world. I shouldn't speak for you.
The real world?
What's that? There you have it. Maybe someday I'll settle down to English teaching or something.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, that's right. There's not. Though it's not exactly the dream. No.
Vicky,
Dear God, no.
I was just...
Seriously, one more snack and roll.
Actually, I was offering one too.
Sorry, how rude is that? And I keep interrupting. Sorry.
But welcome to have one. Arion says you can have his. Sorry. He says he doesn't want a biscuit, and there's plenty more if you like.
Arion?
My poet friend, if that's the word for it. like to hear my new haiku? I don't suppose they had those in 700 BC. Not in Greece, anyway. Well, what it is it's a short poem with a deep meaning. Would you like to hear mine? I don't suppose you have much of a choice, do you? Anyway, here it is. How can the end be the beginning again, when all seems lost? Not bad, that. I'll just give you a moment to think about it. Have you thought about it? Because if you haven't, I can wait a little longer. Actually, I can't. It means that when something dreadful happens, it seems the end. And yet, it's the beginning of coping without. See? In fact, the more I think about it, the more true it seems. Even in our blackest hours, there's still a chance to get better. There's no such thing as the end, but beginnings to take up and work on. I believe that. I really do. Sophie, I'm
Totally knackered.
I know.
I didn't come back for the train.
Right.
Do you know what I see?
I reckon I do.
It's more of a feeling, an awareness, really,
A little glimpse of the present.
of this moment, of my place here. The thing is, it's all so
Overwhelming.
Yes. I hear him laughing.
And unafraid.
I am alone.
And
I look at the lights on the sky, the clear moon, almost full, silver and remote, and the present floods through me, washing away the loss, and contentment, like wine, smooth and clear and sweet, fills my soul. I look back and see myself beginning again, and I say, as I follow you, a long way behind, this is now.
it's a comfort, isn't it?
The security of it all,
In this strange grey town, blotted out by night.
Sophie,
Deep voids of crowded air, a flickering of neon sign,
has he come for me?
a deserted platform across the other side,
Those are my words.
on red benches.
No one sits.
The box clock ticks, echoes in the brimming space.
Flip.
A minute passes.
People hurry to rain-flecked cars enclosed in metal, going home. They see no stranger. A barrier of space makes her untouchable. Yellow clouds,
Blanket thick,
and trains, vast heaves of agonizing noise. A flicker of faces, framed by black, flick, flick, swoosh, gone. Wind in her fingers, the dark resignation hunches. There are no trains stop here tonight.
It's time, Sophie.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready?